he was beating her ruthlessly. Like he was punching a punch bag. He even took a stool, hit her continuously on the head. So he was smashing her on the ground. Then he called me and I went. He picked me up, lifted me up, and threw me on my mom's body. My mom wasn't moving, she wasn't talking, she wasn't screaming. She was just there. I crawled back under the curtain. I hid at the corner. He came back, poured water on her. She didn't make a sound, she didn't move. He carried her, went to the bedroom. A few days later, my dad goes missing. Sister to my mom comes and picks me up. And she came with all these media people. I was confused. That was my first time to actually see these video camera things. Kenyatta. My mom is there. Her head is shaved. She doesn't have her front teeth. All top and bottom. She couldn't speak. She couldn't talk. She was just there. And I asked, Nini mbaya na mom? Nini mbaya na mom? And my aunt kept telling my mom, nyamaza ama sitakuletea tena mwenyewe muone. The case was published front pages in all newspapers. It was something that hit the nation hard. She had complete severe brain damage. They could not even operate on her. This was done by a man she loved, by a man she had stayed with for 9 years.
Hello guys, welcome back to another episode on Get Naked with Lydia. I'm your host Lydia Wanjiru, and if you haven't by now, please make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you're able to bring you more of such content. To our guest today, she's here to tell us her story about how she witnessed her mom get beat by her own dad until to a point her mom got paralyzed. She was taken in by her aunt. Her aunt after Form 4 said, you know what, I've given you enough, you can go on your own. And then she went ahead and got married, got a kid. The husband died, got her married again to a narcissist. There's no type of abuse that she hasn't gone through. And before we introduce her to tell us her story, let me just plug you on our shoot location today. This is a 1-bedroom apartment by Edmo Suits Airbnbs. You can rent it as a staycation for a few days or for a long-term staycation where you co-rent with Edmo Suit. It is a 1-bedroom apartment, fully furnished, fully serviced. All you have to come to do is chill and have an amazing time. They also have more apartments like this, from studio apartments up to 4-bedrooms apartment in different locations of Nairobi, like Kileleshwa, Riverside, Westlands, and Parklands. So all you have to do is contact them on the number on the screen or the email on their screen. And without saying much, let me introduce our guests of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte. Hi Charlotte.
Hi,
How are you? Fine, thank you.
I'm good. Thank
Karibu
you.
sana. Feel at home, feel at ease. This is a judgment-free YouTube channel, and I keep saying that this is where we come and offload everything we've been carrying from the past. So feel free, feel at home, usikuwa na tension. And guys, I said I'll be putting on makeup. Watu wenye wanakuja kwa hii set, you're coming with makeup. Ninakaa ni kama niko disorganized. Ni feel at home, lakini nikaa nimetoka shamba, nikapata mgeni abruptly. But karibu sana.
Thank you.
Now, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay, my name is Charlotte Kavata. I'm a mom of 2, a proud mom of 2. I'm employed. I'm a civil servant under the NPS. I don't have much. National Police Service.
Oh, when policy?
Yes.
Allah. Hey! Na venye unakam soft. I wouldn't have guessed, by the way. Naweza sema tuko kwa beauty industry.
No.
No. Umejimaintain.
Yeah. My eldest is 10 years.
Wow.
My last born is 2 years.
Na venye unakaa sweet 16.
Ni God.
By the way, wewe ni vitu zako zinakuja ni kama surprise everything. Bila kukuharakisha na vitu zenye unaweza share to us. Can you now take us through your life history? Ilianza aje? Ilianza wapi? What happened? Na unajua nitanyamaza all through, mimi nikukusikiza tu.
Okay.
So take it on.
My dad was a police officer too. We used to live Madare Depot at the police line. So there is where I grew up. So them fighting was something that became kawaida to me. They would have scrambles. My dad would slap my mom. He would beat all of us, including me, the house help, my mom. It was just it became a norm in the house. So this unfortunate day, my mom came to pick me from school with the house help, then gave us some shopping to take back home. So when we got home, my dad wasn't there. So he came in a bit later. He was drunk and he asked me where my mom was, and I told him, I don't know. So my dad told me, go to sleep. The house help told him, mtoto hajakula. She was slapped.
You're the only child?
I was the only child.
Okay.
So I went to bed. For people that know those houses, they're partitioned with curtains.
Oh, the round ones?
No, it wasn't the round ones. They're brick ones, yes, but they're tiny. One bedroom. Then there's a kitchen space that is quite big where the bed is fitted. So there's no door to the kitchen.
It's
just open. You just put a curtain. I went to bed. So a bit later, I had my dad. His bedroom had a door. I had my dad opening the door and running out. So your curiosity. I peeped. So he came back, slapping my mom. And he started beating her up. So the house girl tried to intervene. She was beaten. She ran away. So it was me, my dad, and my mom in the house. I was still hiding behind the curtain. So I watched him beat her. He was beating her ruthlessly. Like he was punching a punch bag. He even took a stool, hit her continuously on the head. So he was smashing her on the ground. Then he called me and I went. He picked me up, lifted me up, and threw me on my mom's body. My mom wasn't moving, she wasn't talking, she wasn't screaming. She was just there. I crawled back under the curtain. I hid at the corner. So I'll watch everything. My dad left my mom there, went to his bedroom. So later on in the night, he came back, poured water on her. She was still unconscious. She didn't make a sound, she didn't move. He carried her, went to the bedroom. So the following day, I was going to school.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Was he drunk?
From what I remember, normally he used to be drunk.
Okay.
Normally.
And why is he beating? According to him, what is the reason?
I wouldn't know. I was 7 years old, so yeah. I wouldn't know. And it was a norm, them fighting. It was a norm. So I went to school. I woke up in the morning, dressed myself up. I used to take myself to school. At that time, I was at Moifosis Primary. Air is something. I used to walk from depot to, it was something Air Force.
Okay.
Moifosis Air Force something primary school. So me, I went to school. Kawaida. When I came back home, my mom was, I don't remember if my mom was there, but she was still in bed, unconscious. So I'm a child. Me natafuta coins pale, I go buy something to eat. My head is not revolving around anything. So a few days later, my mom, my dad, I don't remember if my dad was there. I just saw the police Land Cruiser coming to our house, picked my mom and left. Me, I'm a kid. Me, I'm busy playing. They will solve their issues out. Things will just go back to normal.
And you are used to it.
I'm used to it. It was just a kawaida thing. And I would, at that time, kids weren't denied the opportunity to go to the clubs with their parents. So I'll go with my dad the whole night. He's there drinking, I'm there drinking soda. We were that tight, me and my dad. We were so tight. So this whole scenario, I'm just used to them fighting. So a few days later, my dad goes missing. I'm left alone. So there's no house help. My mom is not there. My dad is not there. And I'm not even taking anything seriously at that point. So I'll just go eat at one of my friends' place and come back home and sleep. So just say, kwanza, you have all the freedom in the world. No one is telling you, oga, nini, nini. A few days later, my aunt, sister to my mom, comes and picks me up. And she came with all these media people. I was confused. That was my first time to actually see these video camera things. And they are recording. I'm not even analyzing what is happening. She packed my clothes. We went to her place. At that time, she used to stay in Isili, section 3. So I'm not digging what is happening. But me, I'm okay. So a few days later, my aunt decides that she's taking me to hospital to see my mom, because I kept on asking, where's my mom? Where's my mama? Kwapi mama? Kwapi mom? Where's my dad? Where's my dad? Nikiuliza my dad, inakuwa nika I have touched a very sensitive part.
She gets furious.
She would get so furious. But when I ask about my mama, ananiambia utaenda kumuona. So we go to hospital. Kenyatta. My mom is there. Her head is shaved. She doesn't have her front teeth. All top and bottom. She doesn't have them. She couldn't speak. She couldn't talk. She was just there. And when she saw me, she was removing a funny sound because she couldn't talk, and she was crying. I'm a child. I am not understanding what is really happening. And I asked, nini mbaya na mom? Nini mbaya na mom? And my aunt kept telling my mom, nyamaza ama sitakuletea tena mwenye umuone. Back home they call me mwenye. I wasn't understanding what was happening. And then a lot of things were changing and changing and changing. So this time my aunt takes me to a meeting with very many prominent ladies. At that time I didn't know that. When I grew up is when I came to know Kina Beth Mugo, these strong women that were there those days in the 90s. And you know, the case was published front pages in all newspapers. It was something that hit the nation hard. My mom was paralyzed from the neck down. She had complete severe brain damage. They could not even operate on her. Her kidneys were all messed up. This was done by a man she loved, by a man she had stayed with for 9 years. And she stayed in hospital from 30th July. She died on her 27th birthday, on Christmas Day, 1998.
How many years or months?
She stayed in hospital for around, is it 6 months? From July to December. Yeah. She died in December on her 27th birthday. She was a 25th Christmas Day baby.
She was so young.
She was so young. She was so young. She was very pretty. She was very pretty, very curvaceous, a wonderful soul.
And a human being.
Yes, from the stories I'm told, because I was a child, so I can't remember so much about her. But from what people tell me, she was a very nice person. She was very kind. She was very loving. And she just died. And I remember I was waking up that Christmas Day. We had moved. My aunt moved. We were staying at Nairobi school. So I woke up that 25th, walked to the sitting room, and I could just hear people crying. And I didn't understand what was happening. So I went and asked her, and I was told, Kachini. I'm a 7-year-old, remember? So coordinating things is not
You are not yet there.
I'm not yet there. So I was told that your mom has died. I didn't know what death was. I wasn't understanding. What do you mean by amekufa? So my aunt tried and explaining that I'll never see my mom again. That is the part that hit me. You're never going to see your mom again. She's gone. I don't think I cried because death doesn't sink in for kids.
You don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is. There was so much scramble between my mom's side and my dad's side.
Now, has your dad reappeared? You said
So,
he had missed.
and all this time he's still missing in action. So every time this case was being brought up at the police station, they would constantly, from what I know now, they would constantly say that my mom was beaten by robbers. And that the P3 form cannot be found. For whatever reason, it was being tried to be covered up. So my dad was missing. So when things got hot, I think he resurfaced and he was taken to court. I did testify against my dad. I did. I was a child. I didn't know what I was doing.
You're
I was
just
told,
saying the truth.
Narrate what happened in court. And that is what I did. And I was narrating, playing with my handkerchief, what had happened.
It's like a story too.
It's a story. It's something, it's them fighting is something that I was used to. So I was just telling this other side of the story, what happened. And that is where I clearly remember the picture of seeing my dad seated across me in court. And he was just looking at me. And I was playing with my handkerchief, nikiulizwa swali najibu, innocently. And I wanted this. When I got inside the court, I wanted to go to my dad. The first thing I did, I wanted to walk straight to my dad. And my aunt pulled me back. You can't contemplate a lot of things. So I testified. Apparently, from now, what I know was, everyone was not telling me everything. I was a child. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison.
What were the
for
charges?
Manslaughter. Because he was drunk, so he didn't contemplate killing her. It was something that alcohol was involved. So I was staying with my aunt. My dad is in prison. I'm not seeing any of my dad's relatives. And she was making sure I have no contact with them completely.
We would understand that.
I totally
She has lost her sister.
Yes, her youngest sister. My mom was the last born.
Oh.
So I remember, because of all that tension, I was taken to boarding school. I was in class 3 by then. I was taken to boarding school at AIC Girls, Kajiado. At that time, facilities in that school were not that good. There was no water. And I got some infection. I remember I got some infection. I don't know how it's called in English, but in Kiswahili it's called upele.
The skin one?
Yes, the skin one. Because, it's a new environment. From being the little princess
the only child,
to be thrown somewhere that no one cares, no one takes care of me. The lady that the student that was given the responsibility of taking care of me, she just went through my box, took what she wanted, thought were good for her, and that was all. So no one was taking care of me, no one was caring if I've eaten, slept, nobody cared. And that is where things started getting very dark for me. Because I could feel constantly the feeling that no one cares about me. No one is concerned. There's a time I slept on a bare bed, hizo za chuma, for a whole month.
Why?
Mattress nimeibiwa. Mattress imeenda. I can't tell my aunt. She will beat the hell out of me.
Carelessness.
Yes. So I could strongly feel like this is not right. No one cares about me. Why did my dad do this? I started accusing my dad from a very small age. I could constantly say that this is his fault. This is his fault. If he didn't kill my mom.
Now, did you now at this point understand what death
Yes,
is?
in school I started understanding what things are. You know, there I have to take care of myself. I have to make sure I've bathed, to make sure I'm on time for meals. I had to take care of myself from class 3. You know, there nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Boarding school,
Boarding
it's
school.
survival for the fittest.
Yes. So I could now understand the impact my dad made in my life, and I was like, this is all his fault. I wouldn't be here in this place suffering if he didn't do what he did. So I became very bitter at a very young age, and I hated going home because my aunt was just something else.
She mistreated you,
She was just something else. She was just beating me for no good reason. She would use very harsh words. When I was in high school, I remember she would tell me, I want to just inform her something is wrong, or I'll just go, mom, because at some point she told me to be calling her mom. Mam, kitu fulani inaisha. Usiniite mam. Unaita mam nani? Enda ukafufue mama yako huko kwa kaburi. Yes.
This is your mom's sister.
Toka nitoke. She would just say some things, and I remember there's a time she told me, utakufa mjinga kama mama yako. You know, at that time, right now when you tell me such things, they don't have an impact. Right now, I'm a grown up woman. They don't have an impact. Even shida yako. But when I was a child, they really hit me hard.
And you know you are still mourning, you know, their absence.
Yes, and I'm in this environment where, because she literally told me to my face, haizi andika house girl as long as I live in a house. She told me that to my face. And I would work in that house. It gave me some very good skills, yes. But I hated going home. Tukifunga shule, I didn't want to go home. There's a time AC Girls has a rescue mission of rescuing girls from circumcision. So they used to have a place to stay. When we closed school, they used to have a place to stay. Everything was provided for. I would literally stay with them. Staki kwenda home. Me staki. I am happier and comfortable in school than at home.
The way people are joyous when it is closing day.
Yes.
Why am I feeling like I'm listening to my own story? Like, I hated closing day.
I hate it.
I hated going home. The chores, the endless house chores. Even up to today, you can ask my best friend Amy. Me, I don't like to be told to do something.
I hate it.
You say niambia osha vyombo, osha nyumba.
I know.
Kwanza ukiniambia hata sitafanya na tutakosana. I'm feeling like I'm listening that part of your story.
Yes.
Like that's what I went through also.
So you can relate.
And then the harsh words, kupigwa na hujafanya kitu imevunjika ni wewe.
Nilikuwa napigwa na, unaona hii ukiweka mahindi kwa gunia, hii mti yenye unatumianga kugonga. Yes. Hiyo ndo nilikuwa napigwa na. And then she had very sharp nails, very long ones, very strong ones. Hapa kwa mapaja and my face, I still have dents.
Me want to talk about this story yesterday. Niko na maalama za kuchunwa uso.
Alikuwa akinishika hivi, atatoka hapo na ngozi na nyama.
Did she have children?
Yes, she had 3 sons. She didn't have a daughter. She was blessed with 3 boys. And you know, the last one tumeachana na like 1 year. So we were probably the same age, but I would wash him. Me, yes, I would wash him, wash his clothes, make his bed, clean his bedroom. Nilimwosha mpaka nikiwa class 6, akiwa 4. Yes, nilikuwa namwosha. Sorry. And you know, she could literally serve food, alafu ile ya mwisho ndo people think it's funny, and when you're saying such stories, it's like you're looking for sympathy, but they have no idea what it means kunyima mtoto hata kale kapisi kanyama kamoja.
Alafu mtoto hasa wingi. And for
you
them,
never forget.
you think it's that kanyama.
Yes, you think it's that kanyama. But you know, growing up in that environment where she would get people that were willing to pay my school fees, sponsors, and they would send like toys, bags, storybooks.
Because some people knew your story.
Yes,
because it was published.
It was a big thing. It was a big thing nationwide. And you know, they would send gifts. Do you actually know tungeenda collect na yeye na tukifika kwa nyumba na nyang'anywa zinapewa the son? Yes, at some point I really didn't even want anyone to give me anything because it will just be taken away.
It's not yours.
So I finished. So when I got to class 8, so that is where the drama became so tense, because you have to give 3 names for the examination.
Why are you telling my story, Charlotte? Why are you telling my story?
You have to give 3 names
to register for KCPE.
My aunt tells me, if you call yourself with your dad, you're no longer part of this family. The school is insisting, if I don't register with 3 names, I'm not going to be registered for the exam. I have to repeat.
Those are the rules.
Yes. So what did I do? I called myself my mom. Kavata is actually my mom. So it's Charlotte Mweni Kavata. I didn't have a choice. My aunt is threatening to throw me out and have nothing to do with me. I have no one else. I don't know where to go. And she made sure I knew nobody, that I could not run away from. But I cannot count for you the number of times nimetoroka home. Year 2 period, yeah, from class 3 to class 8. She'll beat me up natoka. Nairobi school is a long way, yes. I'll just walk to CBD. I have escaped rape 2 times.
From who, Charlotte?
From watchmans, from chokoras. So she has thrown me out, literally. She has told me usikuje hapa. And I just start walking. At some point I felt like maybe if I just go be a chokora, life will be easier. Things will be just better. But there's this time I stumbled upon some watchmen. I almost got raped. I ran away. Nilienda nikakaa katikati ya barabara, hiyo highway. And let me tell you, if God doesn't want anything to happen to you, it won't happen to you. So many people have died along Wayaki Way, and I would sit in the middle of the road na hakuna gari itapita.
That road is busy.
Yes. I have attempted suicide more than 4 times. Na meza madawa, a whole container, going to bed, hoping that I won't wake up. I'll just die in my sleep. In the morning, nikaa nilikuwa nimekunywa energizer.
Na uendi?
Nowhere. God just said, you ain't going nowhere. I have attempted suicide a couple of times. Nimetoroka home a couple of times. Nimetupwa nikalala nje. Nimefukuzwa nikalala hapo kwa mlango a couple of times.
And where were the rest of the relatives, like your grandmother?
My grandmother was old and she was staying in the village.
The rest of the siblings wa mama yako hakukuwa?
Walikuwa, they were just watching. Apparently my aunt was the superior. sibling. She was the superior sibling amongst the others. Yeye ndo alikuwa amekaa Nairobi sana, so she knows so many offices. She was interacting with some very big females in this Nairobi, kina Beth Mugo, kina Catherine Kasavuli. She used to do her hair because my aunt had a very big salon. She was someone into beauty. So they will just, no one will talk, no one will defend me, no one would say anything. They were just there, and I could strongly feel that actually no one cares about me. To date, I am not very close with any of my relatives because I feel like they abandoned me the time I really needed them the most. So all those attempts were a fail. So I got a chance to go to high school. Ministry of Home Affairs used to give out a check for my whole year school fees. But where? My aunt had a notion that she was the one paying. She was the one doing. So I had to do everything according to her books. Lydia nilikuwa nafanyiwa shopping ya 1 Senegal, 1 bar soap, toothpaste ile ndogo, tissue. Hata sikuwa nunuliwa hiyo sukari because as we used to carry sugar. And I'm expected that 1 pack of Senegal, I should use it for the whole term, 3 months. So hiyo tunaenda shule the same time, me and my, I used to call him bro. Me and my young bro tulikuwa tunaenda. So tunakaa hapo tunafanywa kila mtu budgeting yake. But sasa the son angefanywa budget ya around 4 mandazis every day. He used to leave the house with almost 4,000.
Sure, nini? Pocket money.
Pocket money ujaweka shopping. Mimi nitatoka pale, nilikuwa nasomea Gatondo. Nitatoka pale na fare ya kunifikisha hiyo Gatondo na ya kunirudisha. So if I decide to eat my fare, mimi ndo nitajua vile nitarudi home. But God is good. There are these ladies we used to school with in high school. By that time, always was for rich kids.
Always was for rich kids.
Always was for rich
and
kids.
Lotion,
And lotions. And sugar that is actually, si ya karatasi ya sukari ya kitao, yenye inapimwa branded.
Na tissue ya white.
Na tissue ya white, tissue yenye unaona ni clear vizuri, ni white, kwanza ile iko printed. Hizo zilikuwa vitu za ma rich kid.
Jumini kwa naenda na zile za green ama blue.
Toilex.
Oh, it's Toilex? I can't even
Toilex.
remember.
It was Toilex.
I just hate the fact that it was green.
And it was, and
ukikata
inamwagika.
It used to give infection.
But who cares? Hiyo ni shida yangu. Then ile peer pressure ya mademu wanakuja wamefanyiwa hot combs, so their hairs are looking flawless. Me home nashindanga na matuta. She owns a very big salon in CBD, but I cannot tell you if there's any time I got my hair made at that salon. I used to pleat myself to a point that I got so skilled that I could do lines. I didn't want to shave because she was telling me nikishave atanifukuza, but
mbona sikutengeneze
nywele. So I was living in so much like
a toxic person.
So these ladies would, huyu anakuja ananipatia tissue, huyu ananipatia, so unajua they were just nice girls. They were just nice. And when they have, there are those girls that when they have money, they love sharing. And there's this time my aunt came to school. Tulikuwa tumechapwa. I don't remember what we did. Do you actually know she brought so much chaos in that school and told the teachers that she's the only person on this planet allowed to beat me.
Ulikuwa umepigwa na shule?
Nilikuwa tunajua tu zile zenye mnapatwa mkifanya something mkiwa wengi, mnachapwa mkiwa wengi. So apparently because of my skin tone ilijichorelea penye nilichapwa, na akaona na akanotice, so it became a very big problem.
No, she's acting like that because she also beats you.
She'll beat the hell out of me.
And why is she complaining?
Because she had the notion that she was the only person that was supposed to do that.
But still do it inappropriately.
It was hard. It was hard growing up in that house. And each time I would just be told, we ni mjinga kama baba yako. You know, this stage when all the girls mnataka kutumia Fair and Lovely. All of you mnataka tu kupaka Fair and Lovely ama Gold Touch. But Fair and Lovely was the best and it was expensive. So unako kapia
it was pressure. 25 bob.
Yes. Ako ka pressure. So apparently one of the ladies gave me one of her tubes. And you're Fair and Lovely. And she used to touch my things sana, my aunt. So when she came across that, she was like, nani alikwambia uchague baba mweusi kama makaa? Sometimes I would sit down and I would just ask from my naiveness, like, can someone choose their parents where you're born? Do you actually like have the chance to like say like, I don't want to be born in this family? She would tell me things. So when I was in Form 2, my body started forming up and my ass was there.
You're very beautiful. You're very curvaceous, and your skin
Thank you.
is light. So I'm wondering where anakwambia.
Your time
ukiwa young.
I was young. So and she was way light. Even my mom was very light.
O skin tone yako iko imeform?
Skin tone yangu ilikuwa bado ndio na grow. So niko na pimples. So unajua hizo hormones nini. And she's so light. My mom was also very light. And apparently my daughter took that skin tone. She's so light and she looks yellow.
Kamzungu.
So when my body started forming, I remember she would tell me, tusikalie viti zangu niyo matako yako kubwa kama ya Mjaluo utavunja. I would literally stay in the kitchen. And you know, she was not saying it politely as I'm saying it. She used to have a very harsh tone. And you know, I was like, I actually hated my body. I hated my body because she could keep telling me, when hiyo matako yako kubwa kama ya Mjaluo, wewe ni mjinga tu kama baba yako, utakufa tu mjinga kama mama yako. I hated myself. I had no confidence. I was literally just an eggshell of a person. I didn't have an identity. And it kept on like that. And the son started drinking when we were still in high school. Tumefuatana age, tumefuatana. The son would drink a lot. And I would get blamed for him drinking. That mimi ndo nimemfunza.
Na wewe unakunywa?
How will I even dare?
Knowing kwenye unaishi.
Knowing kwenye naishi. Knowing the kind of war nitashikwa.
And then you're the teacher.
Apparently I'm the teacher. I was always getting accused of the things he did. Every little thing angefanya ni mimi nimemfunza, ni mimi nimemwonyesha. So he would never take liability of anything he did because the mother would take his side. So he would do things, then go tell the mother mwenye alifanya. And I would get beaten.
Hakuna hata kuulizwa.
Utaulizwa aje na toto amesema, ulifanya.
Hata hakuna kujitetea.
No one is there to listen to what you have to say. No one is there to tell you that tomorrow it's going to be okay. Nobody, absolutely. I had no one. I grew up way lonely than a child at children's home. At some point I really wished that ningepelekwa children's home because at least there I would have bonded, I would have created strong friendships, because every time
and you're being treated the same.
if
Mkikosa
ni
kitu
food mnakula the same. So pale kama ni food wewe unaekewa zile za mwisho mwisho na unaekewa ile kidogo, like unalimitiwa even portions that you should eat, and it's home. This is the place you're calling home.
and this is your blood relative.
Blood.
Chati ni stranger amekuchukua.
Si hata side ya father, side ya mom. So this person is supposed to be a little bit considerate. The irony of it all, she was a very prayerful woman.
Charlotte, I said you're telling my story. I don't know how.
She would wake up. Unajua wale watu wanaamkanga saa 9 ya usiku kupiga ukuta wakiomba. She was that person. Church go. I don't think hakuna church hatujakanyanga hii CBD. There was a pastor alikuwa pale Impala Plaza, alikuwa anaitwa Suna, Ugandan. Tumeenda maka kwa this guy mwenye alikuwa anajiita helicopter. Mimi zile mafuta nimemwagiwa nikiambiwa niko na demons. I have literally bathed in this anointing oils because apparently niko na ma demons za kutoka kwa side ya babangu. Do you know when you grow up, when you're being told some things, you start feeling like they are true, that they are part of you. That your dad is a murderer, you also have the same thing in your blood. Your mom is stupid, you're also stupid. There's a lot of tragedy in your family, so it's supposed to follow you all over. You start growing up believing that my life is just a tragedy. I'm not even sure why I'm here. I'll literally ask God, like, why are you keeping me? Yes, you just take me. Why? I don't see the necessity, I don't see the need of me being alive. I finished high school. I was, she took me, I went and dumped me at my grandmother's place, Ushago. My grandmother is very old and she cried a lot because she said, at this time when I'm not in a position to do anything for this child is when you're coming to throw her here. Atanisaidia aje. So she sold some of her goods na akampea pesa, akamwambia hiyo time computer packages was a thing.
After high school,
yes, you must
driving.
You must do these computer packages. So driving was not in the absolutely, it's not in the picture.
But computer packages was the first option, and then driving.
Yes. So akapewa do, I do the packages, which she paid, and I would go to Kangemi for the packages. So this one day she comes home. There's some things I avoid talking about.
It's okay.
I did go through
it's okay.
I was sexually abused a couple of times by family members. I avoid talking about it. It's hard talking about it. People don't understand what it means going through such an ordeal. So, and I couldn't tell my aunt because she would definitely accuse me and blame me for it and say that I'm lying. Thank you.
It's okay.
So, after Form 4, when I started doing the packages, this one day my aunt travels to the village, then comes back. So I only had 2 pairs. Zilikuwa zinaitwa sandak. Those 2 small plastic shoes.
The 2 doll shoes.
The 2 doll shoes that were purely plastic.
Ulikuwa unakanyanga chini na kuchoma kwa lami. I
had 2 pairs. I had 1 pair and it was the only shoe I could go with. So ikakatika because ilikuwa kasando na ile hizi pelekwa kwa fundi ishonwe. Ni plastic. So the husband to my aunt gives me 200 shillings. Zilikuwa zinatoka 200 shillings. When I'm going for class, I buy a new pair. So when my aunt came back, I noticed these new shoes. She told me that I'm trying to steal her husband. She had a husband, yes. That I'm trying to steal her husband, that I'm sleeping with her husband. And she threw me out with nothing. Nothing. The only thing she threw at me when I was outside were my documents, my high school documents and my primary documents. So I went to another lady that used to stay with us but moved out. I stayed for a couple of days. Then a schoolmate of mine, former schoolmate, high school schoolmate of mine, told me, Kuja. She used to stay with her parents at Kayole. Kuja. And I went, and we stayed. A few weeks down the line, one of my aunties calls me and tells me, you're part of this family. We cannot let you just live out there with strangers. Kuja kwangu. She used to stay in the river. So I get a bit excited that at least I'm going back to family. And so I go to Athi River, to her place, and I stay there for a while. Remember, I didn't even have clothes, so naenda na zile nguo zenye anyone along the way mwenye ananichangia tu nguo ananipea. So I didn't have a lot of clothes. So when I got to her place, she has very many daughters. So some of them gave me clothes. There's this one particular one that gave me so many jeans, trousers, and nice tops. So there's this day. So my aunt would tell me every journey, she used to own a local pub. So every journey I was supposed to bathe, dress nice, go hang out there. It was not my thing. I was not used to nightlife. I had never gone anywhere at night. My background has nothing about me going out at night. So I was feeling very uncomfortable.
It's a new life.
It's new. Then there I'm getting exposed to men. This is not something I'm used to. It was very uncomfortable. So one day I decided to go to EPZ to look for work. And I get employed. So when I came back, so I would wake up early in the morning, go to work, I would walk from Athi River where she used to stay. I don't remember the place, to EPZ. It's quite a distance every single day. And so when I started getting a few money here and there, when I would get paid, I think she felt it wasn't okay because, me going to hang out at her local will attract men. Men come and buy alcohol. Alcohol gives her profit. You see the pattern? If I go stay there at the local pub, I'm not drinking myself. But, men get enticed by this canoe girl in the area. So they will come to the place.
To spend money.
So
that they can look at you.
Yes. Have a chance to interact with me. So she was making profit out of it. So when I decided I don't want to do that anymore, she threw me out. I started my life in a very small house, a single room, sleeping down. I bought a mattress. There is where I started life. So along the way, I met my first baby daddy. So we stayed together for around 1 year. He wasn't a bad person, but he would beat me up.
Why?
At that time, I used to have a mouth. Yes. So I'd throw words, and him being him, he would maybe slap me, hit me. To me, it was something normal because that is where I came from.
That is what happens in relationships and marriages.
So 1 year down the line, I get pregnant and I decide to keep it. He throws me out.
Oh, you had moved in together?
Yes, we had moved in together. So he throws me out. I I didn't have anything. I didn't have a job because I couldn't work in my conditions. My pregnancies are chaotic. So I call my auntie's eldest son and I tell him iko hivi na hivi na hivi, and he tells me nakutumia fare, enda ushago kwa madhe. My aunt tulikuwa tunamwita madhe. And I'm like, for sure mama, akaniambia tu, don't tell her anything, you just go, nitakupigia nimwambie nimekutuma ukae home. So I go home, ushago. So my aunt doesn't know I'm pregnant. I was even surprised why she didn't. That should have been the first thing. She was so good in knowing everything.
She didn't notice.
She didn't notice. All she figured out is that I would vomit a lot. And she was like, we kama ulienda huko kwa kupata ukimwi, useme tuanze kutafuta madawa sahi. And I wouldn't talk. I'll just keep quiet. So I stayed there for a couple of months. So one of my uncles, Uganda, would say that after I've put to bed, I can go to Uganda. He gets me a job. And my aunt, I think we didn't notice it then. We came to realize it when we were older, that there's a possibility she was suffering from bipolar. There's a possibility. Because she'll just wake up one morning and tell me, usijaribu kuniachia mtoto nitatupa kwa choo. From nowhere. And the next minute she's there telling me, pika kitu fulani tukule, fanya kitu fulani, fanya kitu fulani. You know why I'm saying she was bipolar? There's this time when I was still with her, she would just sit down and tell me like, uko na roho chafu kama ya mchawi. We were just sitting watching TV and she would just turn, uko na roho chafu kama ya mchawi. So when I was just there in the village, we started talking with the baby daddy. And he told me, kuja, come, we stay, we sort this thing out. And me, because I would rather be anywhere else than around my aunt. Bio. I went back. Along the way, her eldest son married a very nice lady. Very nice lady. Has someone ever come into your life and you're like, this is a guardian angel? Because even when I was in high school, she would sneak in and give me some money. She would sneak in and buy me some essential things. She would just hide and do these things for me. Mother angejua ilikuwa inaleta shida. But she was just a very nice, she still is a very nice lady. So during that pregnancy, nikiwa ushago, Juliet, her name is Juliet. Juliet came and brought me a whole suitcase. Ile suitcase kubwa, nguo za mtoi. I had nothing. Nothing. And everything was there, from the smallest socks to the big ones, everything. It was a very big suitcase. And no, I was excited. So the son has built just not far from the mom. So I had gone to check the clothes. So I was there excited. Those two clothes are very
too beautiful and exciting.
Very beautiful, very exciting. So me, I'm busy looking. Time went. So when I got back to the house, she was like, mwapanga mtaniua lini?
Kwani they were enemies?
No.
This daughter
I'm telling you, at some point we figured out that maybe she was suffering from bipolar that we didn't know. Because she'll just wake up one morning and accuse you of things and you're like, And it became a whole thing that Mimi and her son's wife, we want to kill her.
Wow.
We are planning to poison her. Nilingia kitchen kupika na usinipikie. Hiyo sumu mmepanga kuniekea. And the whole environment became so unconducive that when I told my wife's bro, the baby daddy wants me to go back, she was like, twende.
Utoke tu hapo.
I just go. Nitoke tu kwa hiyo environment. So we stayed for another 1 year with the baby daddy. Akapata a better job. He was getting more money. And I became misi wa class yake sasa. Nikakuwa, mi nafanya kazi PZ. So I would raise my son with Indomie. It was the easiest to cook. It had no much expenses. Nilikuwa namkatia nyanya. Inachemka pamoja. This guy ameenda. I'm alone with this kid. I have to pay rent. I have to pay daycare. I have to buy diapers because daycare hawataki napkins. So I have to buy diapers. Mshahara ni ile ya EPZ. I would literally go to my I call him my bro because tumelelewa pamoja. I would literally go to my bro's place. Nibebe unga, nibebe mafuta ya kupika, nibebe kamchele because budget yangu haingiani kabisa. Na this guy amesema, hata alisema huyu mtoto si wake. Alisema mtoto si wake. 1 year down the line. So I had to struggle. Lydia, it was so hard. It was so hard. I had to pack Indomie. Tulikula Indomie for months. And I would stay the whole day without eating. For those that know Kitengela, prisons and EPZ ni mbali sana. And I would walk.
You were living in prisons and working in Kitengela?
In EPZ Kitengela. It's quite a distance. And I got kind of a promotion from organizing some clothes to being a quality checker. So a quality checker gets more salary. I managed to move to a better house near to EPZ. Take my kid to a better daycare. I'll wake up very early in the morning, cook, pack for him, pack clothes, diapers, food, porridge, tea, then drop him off to daycare as I go to work. That was my routine. And for me to get employed as a police officer, I had attempted 3 times.
Oh, to get in?
Yes. Remember, I have no hope of going to any course. Not a polytechnic, not university. I have no hope. No one cares. I have no hope. So I'll literally go for, and the person that will let me know when they're having recruitment was my bro's wife. So every time I'll go try. So this final time when I went and tried, I got in. And we were staying for a month before reporting. My kid is, he was around 2 years then. So I have the burden of wondering, mtoto atabaki na nani?
Kienda kiganjo.
Yes. So wife bro akasema atamchukua yeye, atakaa na yeye. And my aunt at that point, I became the favorite girl tena. I suddenly I was important to her. Suddenly she wanted to be involved. Suddenly she wanted to be part of my life. This aunt of mine, at some point, I had gone to the village, tulienda sisi wote, including my bro and the wife and the kids. So they tagged me along, we went. So when I came back to Nairobi, before baby daddy left, when I came back to Nairobi, my aunt called baby daddy and told him, huyo hata hajakuwa huku, alikujua na gari kubwa sana. So when I got to the house, nakutana na vitu zangu kwa mlango.
Oh, so when you left back to rejoin your husband?
Yes, so when I had rejoined my husband, so along the way, tukaenda Ushago for Christmas. So si amebaki Nairobi, we can't go with him kwetu. Aja officialize anything. So nikiwa Ushago, see, I was there with my bro, with his wife. their kids, my kid. So my aunt called the guy. Hiyo day tulikuwa tunarudi, so when we were traveling back to Nairobi, called the guy, told him that mimi sijakuwa nisimdanganye mimi nimekuwa ushago. Nilikujua na gari kubwa sana the day nilifika, mimi sijakuwa huko. So nafika nakutana na vitu zangu kwa mlango. And I'm asking naye kwa makofi, naambiwa rudi huko kwa hao watu wako na magari kubwa kwenye umetoka. Okay. So me I'm calling my brother, namwambia ni aje umeenda hivi na hivi eti mpatie simu. Giving the guy the phone, anasema anaambiwa sisi ndio tumemdrop because they dropped me hapo Mlolongo. Sisi ndio tumemdrop, but hii story umetoa wapi? Sisi then ndio tukaambiwa Madhendo amesema. You know, see why we saying she suffered from bipolar. So the day comes, I'm reporting back to Kiganjo, niko na hizi vitu za nyumba. So I call the baby daddy, namwambia niaje, can you take these things, nitazichukua nikitoka course. Anasema sawa, anachukua vitu. So apparently hata kwake sasa nimekuwa important because sasa nitakuwa na payslip. I got training. Most people ask me, nilisurvive aje training? But I don't look like I survived that training.
You look like a baby girl.
I did survive because I was focusing on my child.
You knew what you wanted.
I knew I want this job. I need something stable for me and my child. So we train, I finish, I get posted. So the guy, baby daddy, ako like, oh, can we get back together? If we don't, he gave me an ultimatum. If I want him to be supporting the kid, we have to get back together. At that time, training just opens up your mind. So I was so naive. This guy had my M-Pesa pins, account pins. He had phone pin, everything. He actually even took a loan before I got employed as a police officer. He took a loan with my Equity line. I was that naive. So when I came out of college, akili yangu haiko kwake kabisa, because I can clearly see things from a different angle. So I was given the ultimatum, if I want him to be part of this kid's life, lazima turudiane. We have to get back together. And me, I was like, no. I'm not going down that lane, Tena. Yes, of course, I didn't want to have multiple baby daddies. But from the angle things were looking, that is not the life I want. So from there, he has never supported the kid. I don't even think he remembers he has a child somewhere.
He still exists.
I have no idea. I cannot tell you if he's alive or if he's dead. I do not know. So along the way, I met a very wonderful Lydia. This man was nice, amazing, and things just looked, my life became brighter. And he could see that I was suffering a lot from everything that I had gone through. And he actually even got me a therapist. I would go for therapy. He was a nice man. He was loving. Lydia, trust me, there are good men out here.
They are.
They are there. This man was amazing, nice. And you know, from his tribe, I was like, I would even tell him, oh, for sure, when ni Mluya, ama when ni hybrid. Because he didn't portray the character, the kawaida characters
that it has been portrayed in the society.
He was nice. He was also a police officer. We happened to have trained together. He was a nice man, Lydia. He was a nice man. And baby girl treatment nilipewa 100%. If he happened to have been rich,
hakuna kitu ungekuwa na.
Hakuna kitu singekuwa na. He was nice, he was loving, he loved me, he loved my kid, and alienda mpaka home. Before that, during training, my aunt passed.
The one who raised you?
Yes.
Oh.
During training, my aunt passed, so we were given 2 days to go bury her and come back for training. I felt like she died without me saying a lot to her, telling her exactly how I felt. But with time, I came to learn to let it go. The person that helped me most was Enoch. This guy, this amazing guy. He was so nice.
Anyway, he must have been nice.
He was so nice. He was so loving. Even when I would start issues, he actually knew how to handle me. He knew how to handle me. He knew where to hit, where not to hit, how to approach it, how not to approach. He just studied me, and he was nice. Akanipeleka kwao, the family was nice, they were welcoming. Wakapanga kwenda kwetu ile first introduction to say wamenotice msichana hii boma na wanamchukua. So we went. So my aunt's husband was still alive. So tulienda kwake, because you see, I don't have a relationship with my dad's people. I do not have a relationship with them. I don't even know them.
And they have never even looked for you?
Apparently now they are. So during this ceremony, it was not a big thing. It was as small as we wanted it to be, because I didn't want to go overboard. He didn't want to go overboard. So it was just something small. His family and friends and a few from my side, because you see, I don't have a relationship with most of my family. So it was just very few people just from my side. Yes. It was an amazing event. Everything turned out okay. Everyone loved him. He was just one very lively, lovable spirit. If he walks into a room, everyone just loves him. He just knew how to relate with everyone, how to handle everyone. So we get back to Nairobi. So apparently during this introduction, I was pregnant and I didn't know. For Enoch, I was pregnant and I had no idea. I was just wondering why I was having so many mood swings. I didn't know I was expectant. So when we came back to Nairobi, I felt something was off. So I tested and it came out positive. He was so happy. He was so, I think that was the one thing he really wanted me to get pregnant. Because with relation to his job, you know, he used to, most of the time he used to be in Lamu Forest. So he'd go stay for maybe 3 months and come back home. I actually don't think we even had time to fight, because
you're not together most of the time.
You're not together most
so
of
when
the
it comes
time.
is honeymoon.
It's honeymoon phase throughout. So I think he was so excited. So you know, we had already set plans for dowry payment. So dowry can't be paid when you're pregnant.
Oh, really?
You have to put to bed so that the dowry can be paid. So we traveled to his home to inform them that I was expectant. That was around April. Yes, that was around April. We went to his home and we came back to Nairobi. So I think we traveled back to Nairobi a day after my birthday. I'm a May 1st baby, so date 2nd. And he didn't even, we just got home and he had to travel to go to Mombasa for work. So when he traveled, I was left home, yeah? That was May 2nd. So we would communicate. We used to he was a very good communicator. Very good. At some point, I thought maybe ni kunichunga na nichunga, because I had to tell him when I've woken up, when I'm leaving the house for work, I've gotten to work. And if I don't tell him, he will call. Hi, Sasa, where are you? What are you up to? He was caring. It was not about him being possessive or anything. He was just caring. He was just caring and loving. So even him when he's there, he would communicate, nimeenda hivi, I'm going with my friends, I'm going to report to work, and that was our communication. So this, a few weeks down the line, I'm called by one lady that we trained with. Akaniuliza, umeingia kwa group? Akaambia no, I've been busy throughout the day. Sijaingia kwa group, kuna nini? Ingia uangalie.
Group ya?
WhatsApp group.
Yeah,
my details.
Your job.
Details. So I go, Enoch's picture is there, and someone is asking who knows this guy. So I copy the number and call. On the receiving end is a lady, and I tell her, I know the guy, he's my husband. And she asked me, ako wapi? Kaambia ako job. Tia, hapana. Kama ujui penye yako, then si bwana yako. And I'm like, I can't like have tabs in every movement he makes. So I called the brother. Apparently that day, the brother called me twice. Something that had never happened. In the morning and in the evening. I was not feeling well. The pregnancy was just a complete chaotic experience. So the brother had called me twice. So now when this lady has posted these pictures, things are not starting to sit very well. So I called the brother. I told him what's happening. Naona picha yenu kwa group anatafutwa. The brother is like, all is well. Group yao tu ndo, troop yao ijulikani iko happy, but all is well. We are still waiting for communication. I get very worried. I try reaching him. I try calling everyone that I know that wana work na yeye. Hakuna namba ina go through. I call one of our detail ako Lamu pia, and I ask him what is happening. He tells me kuna a troop of military soldiers walikanyanga landmine, but hakuna askari wetu yoyote ako kwa hiyo list, ni KDF peke yao. And I'm like, are you sure? Ebu check, go check. He tells me, relax, nothing, Enoch ako sawa. So I don't sleep the whole night. I'm just there seated wondering, trying every single number I know, calling him severally. I remember on Sunday he had told me that wanaingia kichaka. He actually texted me because network haikuwa inanini poa. Alinitext akaniambia wanaingia kichaka kufuata some lead they have, which is something
normal.
It was normal. He would call me hata wakiwa huko kichaka, ananiambia tuko sawa mama, usiworry. So this time hatani call akiwa kichaka, so I was expecting that hatani call immediately anafika kwa kambi, because kawaida ilikuwa akiingia tu kwa kambi he will call. So the whole night I'm just there wondering what is happening. So in the morning, because I didn't sleep, at 5 o'clock I wake up my kid, prepare him from school. He goes to school. I call the brother. Any news? No. I tell him then, let me just go to work and try and distract myself. You let me know in case of anything. Because if I had stayed in that house, I would have gone mad. I go to work. So when we were driving to we were being dropped off the place we were supposed to patrol, a new number calls me. And I pick it up, and most of my friends and detail mates call me Calves. Calves, mwana, what's hiyo kitu iko Facebook ni ukweli? Nikamuuliza nini iko Facebook? Hujaona? Nikamuuliza like, we hii mapema yote it's 5 in the morning, umeamka kuingia Facebook? Akaniambia acha niku screenshot ye. I feel no. I open up my data. I didn't scroll twice. I see Enoch's picture, and there hapo juu imeandikwa, we have lost another one, resting. I went now. I completely went now. So the colleague tulikuwa naye akaniuliza ni nini. I showed him because when he used to come home, he got to meet most of my colleagues from where I am. And he's like, akaitisha gari nirudishwe station. I get to the house. The first person I call is my bro. I tell him nimeona Facebook and wameka Enoch na anasema Enoch amekufa and no one is telling me anything. And he actually, what he tells me now is like ye kitu alisikia ni Facebook na Enoch akusikia kitu ingine. So he calls his wife starts investigating. So I'm in the house, I'm trying to call everyone, I'm calling my brother, what is happening? Kwa nini picha Enoch iko Facebook eti amekufa? The brother tells me, achana na hizo vitu unaona, Enoch ako sawa, Enoch ako sawa. No one wants to tell me the exact thing that is happening. I was so disoriented. So everyone starts coming to my house, my colleagues, everyone is just there, but no one wants to confirm.
No one is giving you an official report.
No one is giving me anything. Everyone is just seated there. I'm making phone calls, I'm calling this person, I'm calling. No one is telling me anything. So when wife bro comes, because she's the one person that I'm a bit too close to, I just completely break down. And she knows that whatever these people are saying is true, but she couldn't tell me. It's okay.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
She couldn't tell me that it's true he's gone. So during the day, one of the cousins to Enoch comes, and she's the one coming to actually officially tell me that Enoch is no more.
So sorry.
So it really broke me. I wasn't understanding what happened. No one was giving me any direct story of what was happening. So the following day the brother comes and he's like, watu home wanasema uende nyumbani kakae huko. So kwa kina Enoch, niende huko nikakae huko. Wife ya bro akakataa, akasema hapana, tutakaa na yeye hapa because she's one person that knows me well, so she knows how to handle me. So no one is telling me exactly what is happening. Apparently his body was flown in. Ilikuwa tu hapa Chiromo, but no one would let me go see him. Apparently mila ya Kiluya, pregnant women are not allowed to go to the mortuary, and even my bro's wife was like, they don't know the reaction that my body will have when I see him, because apparently his body was not in a very good. He didn't have his face. He was shot at close range from behind, so the whole face was off. The drama started unveiling when some of his aunties came to my place. The house became very, 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 very busy. There's always people. And I was still not understanding how. But we talked and he texted me, so how? This is not how it's supposed to go. This is not the storyline that is supposed to hit. So 3 days after the news, the brother comes with some friends, their friends, and he says, tunataka kuchukua nguo za Enoch. I'm like, I remember I had asked the aunties, kuna mila nafaa nijue, I start preparing myself for anything, and the aunties told me no, for now hakuna. So when the brother comes and tells me tunafaa kubeba nguo, I was like, I didn't have an issue. Ni nguo siwezi zivaa, but unajua hiyo tu waking up to the wardrobe, his side is completely empty. This thing just happened. This person just alienda tu hivo. It wasn't sitting well with me, but I said ni sawa, ni nguo mnataka, sawa, chukueni. Me and wife ya bro tukaingia bedroom, tukaanza kupack. The brother tried to come to the bedroom. Akaambiwa na wife ya bro, ngojeni huko sitting room. So issue ilianza penye a friend of mine alikuwa ameniomba laptop. She had exams. Hii laptop tulikuwa na share na Enoch. Alikuwa anafanya exams, so nikamsaidia. So the laptop haikuwa kwa nyumba. The brother started saying anataka hiyo laptop. Nikamwambia laptop tulipata jioni, nimetuma. Actually me I didn't used to talk because I was going through so much pain. So it's the person, yes, the person that would talk was my Rose wife. Anamwambia laptop ilienda na fulani, jioni tutakupatia, ama hiyo the following day mwili ilikuwa inasafirishwa tu Kakamega. Atakuja nayo because we were to travel together to Kakamega. Atakuja nayo, mtravel nayo pamoja. Akaanza kwa violent. Akaanza kusema hii nyumba hata kila kitu ni ya Enoch. Naenda kuleta lori bebe kila kitu kwa hii nyumba. Msichana hata alikuwa anapendea tu Enoch pesa yake. Hiyo mimba hata hatukoshua kama ni ya Enoch. Mimi nilikuwa nimekaa bedroom just listening. So hiyo commotion ikiendelea, wife bro anamwambia ama nikutumie pesa basi you go buy a new laptop. Ako like hapana, tunataka hiyo laptop. Na tutoki hapa bila hiyo laptop. So some of my colleagues came and saw the commotion that was there, wakakimbia station kuita OCS. When hawa walijua OCS anaitwa, wakaenda. So before aende alisimama hapo kwa mlango akasema sasa analia nini? Na alimjua tu jana. Sisi tumemlose na mimi nimemjua for the past 30 years. So akapigia the dad. The bro sasa akapigia the dad akiwa hapo kwa mlango. Akamwambia wamekataa sijui na nini. So akaeka loudspeaker. And the dad said tusikanyange huko.
Tusikanyange wapi?
Kwa kina Enoch, tusikanyange hiyo mazishi.
Msiende Kakamega.
Me and my people tusikanyange. So my bro hakuwa kwa hao. Apparently hiyo day sijui watu walikuwa wameenda hapi. Because tulikuwa tumebaki tu mimi na wife ya bro. So when my bro came back, actually alipigiwa akaambiwa what was happening, so he rushed back. By the time he got there, washaenda. So he calls the brother. Anamuuliza like ni nini? So the brother is like, mimi sasa niko na kiburi, sijui nimewaongelesha vibaya. Lakini I didn't talk to anyone.
Hata mtu anawajibu ni
yes,
your sister in law.
Yes. Na baba yao amesema tusikanyange huko. Bro akamuuliza tusikanyange huko, na kila kitu kwa hiyo nyumba ni ya ndugu yetu. So bro akamuuliza kwani dada yangu akifanya kazi yako analipwa pesa? Akanyamaza. Ukifanya mahesabu vitu zenye ziko kwa hiyo nyumba, nini ya ndugu yako na ni pesa ngapi nikutumie sai? So sasa pia bro ameanza kuboil. Akanyamaza. Bro akakata simu, akapigia mzai home. Akamwambia niaje, the dad amesema tusikanyange huko mazishi. Tusiende hiyo mazishi. Father akasema my aunt's husband sasa namwitanga tu Father. Father akasema kama amesema hivyo na amesema na uchungu, msijaribu kwenda. Don't go. You don't know what might happen. Msiende. How are you telling me not to go to my person's burial? I didn't go to my father's burial because my dad alikufia Kamiti.
Oh, alikufa.
Alikufia Kamiti.
You didn't go to the burial?
I didn't go to the burial.
Auntie yako angekubali?
Angekubali. Na singeenda peke yangu. I never visited him akiwa prison. So right now you're telling me that I found this amazing person. He has died and I can't go to his funeral. How am I supposed to actually accept that ameenda if I don't see his body?
And if you don't bury him?
Yes. My bro I cried. Hiyo siku yenye walienda kupeleka mwili, I really cried. Nililia. Lilia if machozi uisha zangu zinafaa kwa zilishanga. I cried. I begged them. Acheni niende. I would literally even try, nikipata tu simu najaribu nilikuwa mpaka natafuta venye naweza pata flight ni request to buy just go. Nitaenda peke yangu if none of you is going to go with me. I cried, Lydia. No, my bro told me this. If you go to that funeral, you're no longer part of this family. What am I supposed to do? So I think when all that was happening, I got hold of my phone because sikuwa nakaa na simu yangu. I got hold of my phone and I wrote something pale Facebook saying what was transpired. I needed an outlet. I got a lot of backlash that I was, especially from his side of the family, that I was lying, I'm a bad person. I was even planning eti kufungia mwili mochari sizikwe, and I was like, nipeleke wapi? Alafu hatuna shamba, nitaenda kumzika wapi? It's not like I can put him in my house fridge. Nitampeleka. I was accused of so very many things, that I was with him for money. I never loved him, that mimi ni mtu wa mababa. I was just nilikuwa nacheza tu Enoch, hata hiyo mimba si ya Enoch. There's no way hiyo mimba, na alikuanga anashinda kichaka. It's like getting pregnant is a whole procedure.
Yeah, like a whole year.
Like a whole year thing. Lazima mkae chini. This procedure ifuatiliwe. And siku ya mazishi, everyone was thinking that mimi ndo nakataa kwenda mazishi, because his side of the family, that is what they put out. That mimi nimekataa kwenda mazishi, that I'm a prideful person, that niko na madharau, that that I had something to do with his death. Mimi nilitoana wapi na Al-Shabaab shwali? Kwa forest. Mimi mwenyewe I hate camping. I cannot do camping. Mimi nilitoana na wao wapi? I was accused of so very many things. Immediately after the funeral, everyone leaves. And I'm left there, me, my child, na house help.
And pregnancy.
And pregnancy zangu ni zile zenye, it's not a morning sickness, it's a every day, every time sickness. Every time I eat, I vomit. Every time I eat, I vomit. Everyone just goes back to normal. Enoch had a very tight bond with my child, Miles. They were very tight. Very tight. So Miles didn't actually show me that he was hurting, because he had to be a man from a very young age. No, nilimlea when I was even nikijilea. So Miles had to be his own man at a very young age. So at home, he was just normal. I would just see he's okay. But akienda shule, that is where everything would go haywire. So this day, the teacher called me and told me, umeongea na Miles? And I'm like, no, sijaongea naye. So my son told the class teacher that baba yangu amekufa na mama anashindanga amejifungia kwa bedroom akilia. She doesn't care about me anymore. I was trying to understand. I was in so much pain myself. Nothing was making sense. And then that is the time when everyone is attacking you. I lost so very many friends at that stage, because everyone wanted to paint me as the bad person. Everyone wanted to say their version of me. And no one was walking to my defense. No one was standing up for me. That now the teacher is telling me this. I have not healed myself. I am confused. I don't know what to do. I am not even sure what is happening anymore.
You didn't even bury this person.
I didn't bury this person. I could sit down and just imagine him walking past. I could even hear his footsteps kwa nyumba. It was that bad. Because deep down, I had not accepted that this person ameenda. Because sikuwa na confirmation. I would call, we had a very good mutual friend, anaitwa Kibe. I would call Kibe and ask him, uli confirm ni yeye, sawa uso haikuwa, lakini akona birthmark hapa kwa shingo. Akona, uliona, ukahakikisha ni yeye. I couldn't believe ni yeye. So ndio hii, ameenda, amezikwa. I've not gone for the funeral. I've not seen the body. My child, shule hasomi, analia tu. Na anasema, I don't care about him anymore. I had to pick myself up and start focusing on my child. I stopped focusing on me, on acceptance. So in the process, we moved. Before we moved, Lydia, some men out here, I don't think men actually have all their friends. I don't think they're actually true friends. Because his friends, most of them attacked me. And a few months down the line, most of them were hitting on me.
Romantically?
Yes. Nataka kulelea beshte yangu mtoto. The pregnancy was hard as it was. So when I was almost due, the mother to Enoch sent a pastor to talk to me. And I told the pastor to tell her I would actually need some documents if I have to name this child. I would need his ID for birth notification. You must have the ID, either it's photocopy or the original one, to get that for the name for the dad's name to be written down. You must have the ID. And I'll also need a copy of the death certificate. I think in their mind it was like nataka kuendea ile pesa ya compensation, because I figured it out, because all that drama was because of that money. For me not going to that funeral, it would show the public that these people were official. Because kwa eulogy wamenieka, yes, but wameniandika girlfriend. The girlfriend. So they didn't want like ionekane ni official. I'm already expectant. So these people were actually together. So if they show that this person did not have any family, wao ndo watapewa the whole compensation thing. Which money was not an issue for me at that point. Akili yangu haiko huko. Akili yangu iko burying the person I love. Amezikwa. Ndio hiyo mimba. It was not an easy pregnancy. Like a few weeks after he passed on and after his burial. What
year was this? Sorry.
2021.
It's 2 years ago.
Yes.
Oh, Charlotte. Still fresh.
Very fresh. The pregnancy was chaotic, hectic. I would vomit. I'd have issues. No one actually bothered to know how I was doing, how I was coping up with the pregnancy. Wakakataa kunitumia the documents I needed.
Not even one person from that family.
During the pregnancy?
Even after the whole burial chaos, no one came back to ask you how are you? How is Enoch's baby?
Sahii ndio the dad anashinanga akinipigia tutumie picha ya mtoto, utamleta lini? So a few details, and my bro's wife wakanifanyia a small baby shower, and the gifts they gave me, actually they were amazing, because zilinisaidia sana time ya venye I put to bed. Hii besheni yenye iko na stand, hiyo ilinisaidia sana, because no one came to help me with the baby. Actually the people that took me to hospital when I started feeling having my labor pains are my colleagues. After giving birth, the people that came for me from the hospital are my colleagues, but no family. No family. Which I understand. My wife, by February traveled to the States, so she wasn't around. Bro naye alikuwa amerudi job na ako all the way far. So that is the only family that was close. So from his side, from Enoch's side, no one cared. Nobody actually even picked up a phone and asked me, "Are you guys okay?" Nobody. I became number one enemy in that family. Number one enemy. I thank God. My labor, me putting to bed wasn't a very bad experience, because I got to hospital at around 2, and by 3:30 I had my baby.
Oh, that was quick.
Very quick. I had no serious issues, no threatening issues. The baby was perfectly okay. And the good thing is that I had an HIF, so it covered everything. So I came back home, and it was a very lonely
experience. Yes. I can only imagine.
I'm so tired. My body is aching from all angles. The baby is crying. I have no one to help me. Miles has to go to school. I have to make sure all the bills are catered for. There's food in the house. It was hard. It was so hard.
And to imagine people still go through postpartum depression when they are with their partners.
Yes.
And you are now
alone.
And you're still mourning.
I'm still mourning.
And how is Miles now at this time?
At this time, I focused so much on him. I completely forgot about myself. I just shut down anything concerning me. So I was focusing on him and the baby. And the bills, because the bills are still there. Sorry. So it was very hard. And I would wake up and I'll take Enoch's picture and I'll ask him, like, why did you leave me? Like, it would have been better if I wasn't even pregnant. I started feeling like this kid was just something wrong that happened. Because if you knew you were going to die, why then get me pregnant? Which, along the way, I'm actually surprised that pregnancy survived. I was not eating, I was not sleeping. I was always in tears. My life was a complete mess. I went back to work, and I was just working and working and working. I was not resting.
It's like a distraction.
Yes. And that pregnancy smoothly throughout the 9 months.
And that's how you know God is at work.
Yes. So I think one of the days I just felt like, no, I'm not going to like be sad anymore. I need another distraction. And that's when I started doing TikTok. And I would wake up, wash my baby. I would first bathe, then wash the baby, clean up her bottles, because I had to supplement with none. Clean up the house. Miles has already gone to school. I'll make sure I've done everything. I've prepared a meal for myself. Then I do my makeup, and then I start doing TikTok. And that is how I started doing TikTok.
And you're doing amazing. I watched some of your videos.
Thank you. That's how I ended up starting some TikTok videos here and there, and then it kept me motivated every single day. I'll just be anxious to do something. That can 99 plus pale, it really boosts your morale. Pale kwa TikTok pale chini, activities, and then you just open and it's 99 plus, so followers plus likes. So ukionako ka 99 plus, it really boosts
your morale to keep creating.
So I kept creating. I went back to work. You know, it really distracted me a lot. Remember, I've not taken time to accept what happened. So little by little, I was letting go. I cut every communication I had with anyone that will try and paint a bad picture about Enoch. So unajua mwanaume akikufa ndio vitu zake mingi
uprokelezea.
Yes. And unajua everyone wants to tell you that alikuwa na day plan place alikuwa. As much as alikuwa nao, there's no day alinionyesha. And there's no day alinionyesha madharau because he has another supply elsewhere. There's no day alinionyesha like he can still have another one. There's no day. He protected me in all ways. I had no idea. Sikuwa na copy.
But people are wicked. How is this going to help even to heal?
I actually don't understand, but people just want to see you down. Most people just want to see you broken. So it was a very hard experience with the babies. I had to go back to work early, but TikTok was taking so much of my time, and I was enjoying it, and I was doing this thing continuously, and just life just became things just became a bit easier because I started accepting things, everything that was happening, everything that had happened, the people I had to lose, the people I had to cut off. I began focusing on my healing, and I discovered that I do like traveling. I actually discovered that thing that I like traveling, I like adventure. I wanted something that was actually me. So I started doing a little bit of traveling here and there, meeting new people, experiencing life. Yes, as much as I was focusing on my kids, I was also focusing on me and my healing. And I was getting better till a couple of friends told me, like, if you actually need to move on, like, to let Enoch go, you need to move on. That was the greatest mistake.
Why?
I met a complete narcissist.
Oh my God.
And this guy, if kuna official office for these people, he holds the CEO of that office. At first, he was a very nice guy. He would support me, take me to very nice places for meals. He was nice. But with time, when he figured out that now I was into him, he unleashed the devil side of. Do you actually know this man would tell me, mi ni toxic? Yeye sasa ananiambia to my face, ukae ukijua mi ni toxic. And I'm like, when I'm toxic?
He admits it.
He, I thought at that time, I thought he was saying that because his wife had divorced him. So when you start making jokes of unajua fulani mtu fulani aliniambia kitu fulani, so ukiwa na mapeshte zako naambia usisahau mimi ni kitu fulani, you know, that ka joke people make. So I thought he was joking, and he would tell me like, there are this number of ladies. If I tell them that right now my wife has left me, they will come running. He'll tell, we are here together and you're telling me this. But I thought, from where I was, I thought this guy had a bad experience. I've also gone through a bad experience. So if I try and understand him, the Lulu.
If you try understand him, he will change.
He will actually change. He'll actually stop that mentality he had. Let me tell you, Lydia, the minute you sit down with a man and he tells you, Kibe said, run.
Me, I said that the other day. I cannot date someone who listens to Kibe.
Run. This guy would actually put Kibe to skize.
Munaskiza Kibe.
And I'm like, sasa umse anasema. And I was like, I don't have a bad idea about Kibe. He just says what he feels. The problem is with what you understand, you as a person. So people want to take the negative part of everything he says and apply it. That is the problem. Kibe has no problem. He sounds like a madman at times. Kibe, don't come for me.
We don't care about Kibe.
But people focus so much on the negative things that he says
And
and
applies
apply.
them.
Yes, Kibe said, don't relate with this woman, don't relate women with this and this are bad. Kibe hasn't been with all the women on this planet. He does.
And also he doesn't have like an established full-blown relationship with one woman that we can say, oh, this one has actually worked for him.
Yes.
The examples and everything, they
This
have worked.
guy would constantly tell me, Kibe amesema. Hata alikuwa anamuita boys amesema.
Kai.
And the delulu in me was
Unasikiza?
there, was like, it's just a face. Atamaliza hii face. Do you know this guy will tell me, there's a day we were talking and I remembered something my aunt did and I told him, nakumbuka madhe kuna time aliniambia hivi na hivi. Alisimama akaniambia, now you want to start crying over spilled milk. He was that inhumane.
So insensitive.
He didn't care what I feel. And each time he will do something, if I react, it's my fault. Why am I reacting? Yes, he was that kind of narcissist.
Chairman.
Where he will completely disappear, and then when I ask him, he tells me a man needs his own time. Sijakata, you need your own time, but you just text me niambie niaje, I'm going out with my friends, we'll catch up later. What is so hard in that?
He's too manly.
It's too, yeah, hiyo si yake. The Lulu here would cook, go to his house, serve. See, he's my person, and I'm serving my person. And me being the person I am, I feel like submitting is something I do a lot. I'll cook, I'll clean, because that is me. Not for his satisfaction,
but because that is
because I feel that is the service I can give to this man. I cannot help him with his job. I cannot help him with his car. Sijui mbele wala nyuma. I cannot help him with anything else. Definitely, even if he wants advice, he will first go to someone else before he asks me. So submitting, I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll stay there quiet because he wants peace. He doesn't want small chit chat.
So you sit in the same room
quiet to watch Kibe.
And then how did it end?
You know, this guy constantly told me like, Cubs, I know what you want, I know what you need, but I don't think I'm the person to give it to you.
After how long in the relationship?
A few months. And then anakaa tu ni kama kiwave kinamhit. Oh, Cubs, can we meet up? Nini, I miss your cooking, nini. Me being me, I'm just sitting there like, I don't want to start another relationship with anyone else. This guy has already even bonded with my daughter. He's been taking her out. He's been
Enoch's
spending.
baby is a baby girl.
Yes, she's
and
a
then
baby
the first
girl.
one is a baby boy.
Yes. So how do we even start again with another man? It's so tiresome. It's exhausting. So the Lulumi goes back. So in the process, I began to know that there are things even on my side that I had not healed. And I started working on my healing. I started going to the gym, watching Stoic theology videos. I started working on myself.
Inwardly.
Yes, inwardly. And finally, he would come and be a nice person. Then, poof, he's a complete something else. So I started noticing like he was actually seeing someone else. Because he would literally disappear, and if I ask, he was rude about it. There's a time I found a set of earrings in his car. Don't ask me, Aki.
I'm not asking. I'm not asking.
And
you are lucky not to find clothes in the freezer. People find weird things in these men's houses.
So there's a time I sent him a meme about relationship. Then he immediately forwarded it, but apparently he forwarded it back to me.
Oh.
Yes. Then before the holidays, we met up. He took me for a very nice lunch date. He gave me a shopping voucher. Apparently he became so nice. So when alienda ushago akirudi, he disappeared. So I'm like, what's up? You've been quiet ni nini? So this day my messages zinakuja kama mia. Hey, you're a nice person, you're a wonderful cook, you're what, you're this,
It's
you're
the thing
that, nice.
you do. It's not him in
Yes.
the relationship. It's
Yes.
what you do for him.
It's what me I do for him. It's what I'm bringing to the table.
Mm.
You're a nice lady. That's why I'm feeling so bad doing this. But the slap of the message was, you're a nice lady, but I cannot see myself taking responsibility of children that I did not father.
It has taken
But
him months to know that.
Pale chini, we need to have what is something about we need to have a defined relationship. Pale juu umeniandikia like you cannot take responsibility of children you did not father, but hapa chini you want a defined relationship. Yes, that I was like,
but the children are still in picture. So which defined
what definition is there? And he wants me to understand him and hana ubaya na mimi. Like, why then did you take me through all this emotional hardship?
attachment.
Yes, attachment. You are pretending to be nice at times, knowing very well, deep down in your heart, you cannot accommodate my children, but you want a defined relationship. How does that work? I was not getting the picture, so I didn't respond. I just let it go because it was like amenitoa mzigo. I was like so relieved, like finally this is done, and it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with me as a person or my kids. It's him. It's a him thing.
It's a him issue.
Yes, he feels that he can't take responsibility. That is for him. That is him. That is what he wants, and it's okay. But I cannot indulge myself any further with this person because he knew very well.
You are a whole package.
Yes.
It's either you with the children
or me, nothing
or
at
nothing at all.
He knew deep down in his heart that he didn't want us. He didn't want my kids, but he still entertained me. He still was showing some nice gestures, but they were breadcrumbs, and I was just accepting because remember, I felt like I have not completely healed, and I feel like starting something else with someone else is a lot of work. Maybe he's just going through a phase. Itaisha, hii phase itaisha, but no. No.
How are you right now, Sandra? Emotionally, mentally?
I'm okay. I thank God. I've built a very good relationship with God. I'm doing a lot of therapy. I'm doing a lot of reading here and there. I'm working out. I've built new friendships with amazing people out here, and I'm praying for the best. I can't say I have everything in order, but baby steps.
No one has. How is Miles and the princess?
Miles is okay. He's in grade 5. So sahi unajua sahi anasikia yeye ni preteen, so ameanza kusikia yeye ni mwanaume.
Na kona nyumba ya mademu.
The baby girl, she's fine. She's perfectly fine. I see her father so much in her. She's jovial. She's all over the place like the father. She's just an amazing spirit. Amazing spirit. She'll just look at you and smile, and her smile is very contagious. Very contagious.
You can't like ignore.
You can't ignore it.
Wow, that's amazing to hear.
Yes.
And also like for the family, the first one.
Yes.
In case they see you, your dad's family side,
yes.
what would you like them to know?
They've
Because
been trying to reach out. They want me to. They have been involving me in some of the family functions, but I wish they would just understand that the fact that they were not there when I was growing up created that wedge in between us, and it's going to take a lot of work for me to come for me to easily go to them. It's going to take a lot of work.
open-heartedly.
Yes.
And the other family, your mom's family, because see, your mom had other sisters apart from the aunt who brought
Yes.
you up.
Yes.
But I feel like they had some role to play, or they would have really helped you cover up so many things you were going through.
They would have, but nilisemanga I through like it's okay. It's okay. What happened happened, and it's okay. I really don't have much to say about them because iko
It
tu
is what
hivyo.
it
It
is.
is what it is. Yes.
Anything you'd want in case Miles and the princess, what's her name?
Bloom.
Bloom. Hey, na unajua kutafuta majina. In case Miles and Bloom ever watch this video, what would you like them to hear? Ama what would you want them to know?
That I love them so much.
Clearly.
They are my everything. They play a very big role in my life, and I pray that I'm there till they get older, and I hold their hand till they become their own people. But for now, all I can say is that they are my world. Yes, and I thank God for blessing me with them. Yes.
And they're even, you're a blessing to them. Because after the things you've gone through, being a mom is the least of things that is expected from you. Because you don't have like a background of knowing what motherhood is,
Yes.
knowing how children should behave in front of parents or parents should behave in front of kids. So I'd say you're really doing a great job. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for sharing your story with us. I don't think I've ever gotten emotional listening to someone's story like the way you have felt, because I think most of your childhood things I can relate to. And no matter how many times we can talk about it, no one can ever understand growing up without a mom and dad, how it feels like. You can say, oh, even us we got punished, even us we didn't have everything, and our mother was there, so it is normal. It's not, you cannot compare the two situations. And to see you like this, so beautiful, with a beautiful wide smile, nobody would even think that you've gone through that. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And to our viewers, if you have watched this, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. And also remember to leave down a comment of our today's episode. What's your take home? And if you have a story like this that you would like to share with us, remember to DM me on my Instagram, or I'll also leave a contact there. You can also call me, WhatsApp me, message me, and please go support Charlotte. She's doing really nice work on TikTok and on Instagram. Let's support her. Let's support her and endelee kukua motivated to share her story. Anyway, we were shooting this at Edmo Suits. It's a one-bedroom apartment that you can hire as an Airbnb for short-term stays and for long-term stays. And they also have other different apartments, from studio apartments up to 4 bedrooms apartment in Kileleshwa, Riverside, Parklands, and Lavington. And please remember, whenever you watch these videos, subscribe, leave a subscription down below. Don't subscribe and just exit the video without subscribing. That is how you show support to us. And also give this video a thumbs up so that it can be suggested to more people. And until next time, bye bye.